Hi, my name's Awilda.
And I'm Mildred.
And we're the Rios sisters. Hola, mi gente.
Okay, so we wanted to share with you one of the first times that we performed as the Rios sisters. You know, once you started hitting the radio and really, you know, taking off. And
that's another story how we first heard it on the radio.
But
this
anyway,
was before the radio. Yeah,
I think this was before that. You know, it was already the DJs were playing it a lot. So we got booked at the Funhouse. Okay, that's where, you know, Madonna had just performed right before us. Her career was taking off, so
her career had been taken off,
but she was at the Funhouse and
she had performed there.
So that night, okay, we're waiting. We had a road manager. We're waiting for the limo, and you know, the limo is not showing up.
So I was like calm, cool, collected. We were booked. I was confident. The limo had always picked us up before. We had no problems with that. So I'm like, okay, we'll wait a little while. You know, we'll wait. I'm a little more, I think, laid back than she is. She was always a little more like, oh, Wilda, you know.
So I said, at one point, it was an hour late. So I said, Wilda, I said, we're not getting picked up here. Let's get in our car and let's go. And she says, no. I said, no, we shouldn't. I was afraid of how we would look. Yeah. I wanted it for us because, you know, our career was, the song was starting to take off, and there was a big buzz, and you know, we wanted to make sure when we showed up, we showed up in a limo. So long story short, we get in our car. And I said, well, let's go. So
she says, what you said was, this is a paid gig.
And we're getting paid up in here.
I said, let's go get our money.
Because, you know, you have to do a lot of, you know, promos.
We have worked, we did it. You know, have done a lot of those.
We have done a lot of those, so it was time. So anyway, we get in our car, we just go. We pull up to the Funhouse, and I remember there being parking, and there was nobody outside. And I said, oh my God, nobody showed up. So we were late. It was about at that point, we were 2 hours late.
It was like practically 2 in the morning.
So I know when
showtime was like 12:30.
Right. But I know that night, Little Louis Vega, Jellybean Benitez, Mickey Garcia, they were all in the house. Okay? They were all there waiting for us. When we walked in, the place was packed, wall to wall. I mean,
the music was going, the energy was, all the opening acts had performed, and they were waiting for us.
We were the headliners.
And finally, the Rios sisters show up, and then
you know, I'm not gonna mention, you know, the road manager's name or whatever. So he goes and he takes the limo there and leaves us
and didn't pick us up. I'm like, what happened? So he thought that maybe we had a separate limo. It was like, was it the first time we worked with him?
Yeah.
It was the first time. So he didn't know. So anyway, we got there, and they were waiting for us. And like she said, all these people, and my producer was like, take a picture with Jellybean. You know, this is Little Louis Vega. These were names now but back then I was just beginning to know, you know, I think Jellybean I knew.
Yeah.
Because of Madonna.
But anyway, we went on and we performed, and back then we only had, you know, that one song, but we had to do an encore because the record was
they went crazy.
Wild.
The feedback was amazing, and we did the club mix, and everybody was saying R&B, do the R&B, the house. And so we didn't have back then we had tapes, so it wasn't on the show reel. So I said, it's not on the show reel, what do we do? Literally said, go. So he puts on the vinyl record, which you don't do because it could skip. So, but we had to do an encore. People were not leaving the house until we did that encore. So he puts on the vinyl, and that song starts playing, and they went wild. I mean, my manager wasn't there. May he rest in peace, George Vascones. But the next day,
morning, the buzz was out. That was it. And we were booked for months.
And that was it. We were booked for years after that. So, yeah, it turned out well.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel down below.